Hello, welcome to day 2 of Vlogmas 2022. We're going on a little bit of a road trip. If you don't know who I am, my name is Caitlin Duncan. I am a hybrid author, which means I publish both traditional and independent books. Here on my channel, we talk about the writing process and all the bookish things. So if that interests you at all, be sure to hit that like button and I can create more videos just like this for you. So we're doing another road trip video. For today's Vlogmas, as it's the beginning of December, I wanted to talk about goals. This is usually the time of the year or time every quarter that I think about my goals, but especially in December, I think about what I want to do in terms of yearly goals. I had a very frank conversation with a couple of author friends of mine. I had to cull down my list of things I wanted to do because I just constantly put things on my plate that I just don't have time for. But just due to having a full-time job and doing authoring stuff and YouTube and everything, which are all things that I love, I just have to be realistic with my goals. My plan for next year is to release another nonfiction book in January. Currently, that book is out with my CPs, and I did 2 rounds of CPs for this one. With my nonfiction, to be honest, I don't put a lot of money up front in terms of editing and everything. I usually just do a proofread. I rely heavily on Pro Writing Aid for like copy edits and sticky sentences and stuff like that, but these nonfiction books are really small and I just prefer to spend most of my money on my fiction, which usually requires multiple types of edits to make sure the story flows and getting different perspectives and whatnot. I rely heavily on Pro Writing Aid, my CPs, my beta readers, and my proofreader, who is just amazing and catches a lot of stuff. That's the first project that I'm doing next year. So for that product, I will be looking at my marketing for that. I'm going to be doing some collaborations a lot here on YouTube. With this book in particular, I interviewed a bunch of authors and I have like interview footage and stuff like that. The whole of January will be the pre and post launch for this book. So the second project that I'm doing for next year is another thriller. As I'm building up this thriller name for myself, I had a conversation with my friends in the mastermind to discuss the trajectory of this particular brand, and something that I've done in the past, which I constantly course correct as my books are getting reverted, is staying with a brand. And they so gently but firmly reminded me of my tendencies. So I had all of these things I wanted to do, but they're like, get another standalone book out. You know, when you have like 3 or 4 of them, you can start, experimenting and stuff like that, because I had an idea for a serial and all this stuff, like within the thriller genre. But in terms of creating a brand, creating consistency, I need to focus on the next book. I have sort of 2 ideas that I could approach for it, and I haven't quite made my decision yet. So I need to think about very, very soon, because I need to outline and write and edit and get it up for pre-order and all of that fun stuff. I would like to spend part of December in sort of a brainstorming stage. So those are my 2 major goals. I'm also going to try to be more consistent here on YouTube because I love YouTube. I am sort of steering away from like all the other platforms. So it's really going to be mostly YouTube and my newsletter. If you want to sign up for that at all, the link is in the description. Those are my sort of main pillars for next year, and I'm excited to get started. I'm a little nervous about just having 2 book releases, but I think that is a process that I can do consistently. On theme for today and being a road trip and whatnot, I'm going to be trying to do more in-person events. I went to one really fantastic event this year, and I went to one that's not so fantastic one this year. And I'm starting to get a little more comfortable with all of this, a little more picky. I am actually considering sort of project managing a couple of events myself, because I feel like I know what authors want. I think that with particular people who run these events, it's not really their job or part of the job description, or they have a lack of understanding of what authors want. So when you're looking at an author event, an author who's planning the event knows what authors want. I'd really like to do more in-person events. I want to sort of niche down a little bit and try to find some interesting like craft events that, you know, sort of are book related, and not necessarily just all book events, but I'd be really interested in doing a lot more in-person book events with my author friends, and setting up sort of a process for this and sort of an expectation for a lot of events. I am not an event coordinator by any means, but when it comes to author events, it's a lot for us to come to an event and no one shows up, or we don't sell many books, and that all depends on so many factors, the amount of authors, the amount that the venue is promoting, and I think there is a cost-effective way for authors to do this and still sell books. And because I'm an independent author at this point, I understand so much more about what authors like need. They need to sell books and they need to build up a readership. And I think local authors even more so need to connect with their community. We are small businesses. I know there may be some people out there that I've been in your position before that are like, oh, I don't want to talk to people, I don't want to do this. But if you intend to sell books, you're gonna have to hand sell them someday, unless you are, you know, some author who has a publicist and can afford like not to talk to people about your book. But I really am putting this author first mindset with a lot of things that I do. I've given myself these 2 projects, and I will definitely have enough time to pursue these things on top of it, which are like adjacent to these projects. Obviously, I want to sell books. Speaking of events, I am on my way to an event venue to pick up passes. It is a event in a secure area. I'll just leave it at that for now. I'll probably vlog the event if I can. If not, I'll take some pictures throughout Vlogmas and kind of show you like my table setup and whatnot. I recently did a video on how I do author events. I'll link that in the cards and the description if you want to check it out. So I've been getting like really honed in my process. This one unfortunately is a bit farther than me, and the fact that I need a pass to get in there is kind of an inconvenience, but it's something I'm willing to do in an effort to sell books and make connections and all of that fun stuff. So I'm going to take you on that journey with me. All right, it has been a day. I'm finally back home, and it's about time for me to do all of those fun nighttime mom things. But I'm really excited for this event. So if you enjoyed this video, do give it a big thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button and the little notification bell next to it so you know the next time I upload, and I'll see you tomorrow.